Hey, good morning. Aaron Christopher Kirkby here, swimming in the goodness. Just want to thank you for listening to this video right now. Today I'm going to be talking about spiritual focus. It's all about swimming in the goodness. And I also got a phone number, so I'm going to give it right now for swimming in the goodness, because when I get a little bit more regulated, if you will, determined, and scheduling everything out, you guys can give me a call. We could do some live coaching and I will help you out. But the number is 619-889-2268, and that's the number for some goodness right there. So yeah, I definitely want to talk about spiritual focus. That's the fourth key for swimming in the goodness. So today's meme that I posted earlier, it says, if you were handed the keys to joy, love, power, wealth, good health, wisdom, and friendships, would you use them? And the reality is that for me personally, understanding that having worth and how to use these keys takes time to really, implement the using of the keys and just unlocking your power, wealth, good health, wisdom. Because the contrary is, let's say, to joy, it's sadness and misery, depression. How many people are suffering from depression? And more importantly, how do we help these people who are going through that? Well, they can only help themselves, but how do you shine your light? How do you help them get out of that rut? So that's what I'm doing with Swimming in the Goodness, is just sharing that joy, sharing that love. And so what's the opposite of love? Love would be anger, hatred, dislike. There's a lot of that going on. See, everything has a polar opposite, and everything needs balance. So what I've learned and what I share with people is, like, I bring the joy within myself. I bring the love within myself. I don't expect it to come from someone else. And if there's anger or dislike out there, it's gonna be there. And it's the allowing of that to be, but also being connected to your own love and your joy, and that's what will resonate with other people, be attractive, and let them to start. It basically welcomes them without welcoming them into the goodness. So the other thing is power. If you have the key to power, what's the opposite of that? Inability, weakness, failure. How many people go through life thinking poorly of themselves? And the reality is that you have the power to change. You have the power to step into the new environment or circumstance that you've been dreaming. A lot of us program ourselves to do the same thing over and over, and it becomes habitual. And then next thing you know, a lot of us forego our dreams. We let go of our power. We give it to someone else. We give it spouses, someone we're in a relationship with, bosses, whoever. But Swimming in the Goodness is about taking ownership for your life and really cultivating and crafting the type of life that you want to live. So the next key is wealth. So what's the opposite of wealth? Is poverty and scarcity. A lot of that stems from just never having proper teachers, proper leaders that are going to show you the way. And they don't teach us that in school, how to accumulate wealth. And so there's a lot of people who live by that scarcity mindset. And just like anything in life, it'll grow. So you got to be really mindful of the seeds that you plant. And when you become conscious of these things, it's about your influence on others. So wealth is a key that you have, that you could use. It's just a matter of actually using it. And sometimes you might not know which door to enter, so to speak. The reality is that you have the key, and you find that within yourself. So I'm huge on that. And all these keys are all spiritual. Every aspect of our life is spiritual and in nature. And I'll get a little bit more into that in a second. So good health. What's the opposite of good health? Disease, lethargy, sickness. A lot of people are just plagued with these things, and that becomes habitual. That becomes routine. Going to doctors, medicine, getting pumped up, when it's like puts a Band-Aid on the wound, and it doesn't really solve. Life's about causes and conditions. So if you're just dealing with the effect, then you're going to keep getting the same result. So with Swimming the Goodness mentality and that mindset, it's really about getting straight to the cause and eliminating or correcting, resolving the cause. So that way there's there's no more effect. So the effect, so it's actually 100%. It's solid, right? It's connected, it's whole, it's complete. And that's the objective, that's the aim, is to be complete within ourselves as a human being, and we share that goodness with the world. So the sixth key is wisdom, and with wisdom, what's the opposite of wisdom? Is thoughtlessness and prudence. And this is really important because these are all spiritual in nature, because everything is. And so wisdom's really about taking your time and discerning, like reading things for what they are, who they are, and making your decision based on that. But we all have intuition, we all have that gut instinct. A lot of people talk about it. My question to you is, how often do you actually trust that and rely upon that? When you really start cultivating and developing that intuition and that sixth sense, you're able to start progressing and really, basically, you stop caring what other people think, you know what I mean? And it's about what you think and what your gifts are, and how do I contribute those gifts to the world. So that's the wisdom piece of the spiritual nature, and that's, you know, the topic of the day. Last thing is friendships. So the opposite, the contrary to friendships, is loneliness, discord, and a lot of people are very alone, unhappy, and hopefully that didn't mess everything up, but a phone call was coming in. So what I do want to say is that in regards to loneliness and discord, all this relates to depression, or they're all related. It's all one. So like the object for Swimming the Goodness is to create complete, whole people, right? Like, I'm complete and whole. I love myself, swimming in the goodness, and that's what I'm sharing with you. But a lot of people are in life like this, and they're searching for that connection, and it's just about getting that, being turned and being connected to yourself, to all of the goodness around you. Like, my level of understanding of this is profound. Why? Because I'm like literally swimming in it. It's all around us, and that's what I share with people. And I understand it to a depth of actually having been hit by a car going 65, 70 miles an hour. I did see the light, and I, through that out-of-body experience, like swimming in this sea of light, in this womb of light, I'm able to like understand where we are now and just how to really create an amazing life. So when there's discord, or when we're operating in the opposite, so a lot of people, so I'm going to go through the list real quick: joy, love, power, wealth, good health, wisdom, and friendships. Now, a lot of people might be operating with joy in their life and maybe some wealth, but their health might be affected, or their friendships might be low. And so it's about finding balance. A lot of people are in the opposite in every single way. They're sad, they're angry, they have an inability, like there's no sense of self, of power. They operate in, or they're poor and just in poverty, impoverished thoughts. They're sick and they're thoughtless, and there's a lot of discord and loneliness. So I just want to say, in order to correct that, we have to be honest with ourselves and see exactly where it is we want to go with our lives, and change it. You have the power to change. So that's the thing. If you were handed the keys to joy, love, power, wealth, good health, wisdom, and friendships, would you use them? Absolutely. My answer is yes. And I encourage you to answer that within yourself. And sometimes we don't know how to use a key. Sometimes we don't know how to learn something, but the reality is that when you know you want to move in a direction, you move in that direction, and the answers will come. So, things that I want to propose, you guys could call me too if someone wants to talk about just some spiritual goodness, spiritual focus. The phone number, once again, 619-889-2268. I just want to be open, and I'm here to help whoever it is that wants to grow and understand a little bit more about their spiritual selves. So things that I would like to encourage you to do today is to focus. Like, if you're in a negative thought or mindset, really see yourself when that energy happens, and then step out of that and think about the opposite, which is the goodness that you want to get into. And then instantaneously, now you're swimming in the goodness, say it. And then the other thing I would like for you to do is, or suggest that you do, is just be grateful. Like, think about all the things that you have in your life. Even of the things that you don't have in your life, be grateful for that too. Why? Because there's a reason why certain things aren't in your life, certain people. and just be okay with it, and then do the things that you need to do to become the person you want to be, and in the place that you want to, be doing everything you want to do. So the last thing is, be happy. This is your life. Like, we're talking about, you should be smiling. Like, you should be joyful. You should be grateful. And how do I know that? Once again, because you lay dead on a freeway and you get medevaced in a helicopter to hospitals. Like, when I'm having a bad day, I think about having that paramedic palpate my back. See ya, my day gets really joyful in a heartbeat, because I am not going through what some people are going through. A lot of people have post-traumatic stress disorder, whatever. Life's life. But how do we deal with those things? That's what I really want to bring to light. And I'm here as a resource. Swimming in the Goodness, is definitely a method that you could use to employ to cultivate an amazing experience and to really just have just an extraordinary life. But it's up to you to put the extra in the ordinary, and that might mean waking up earlier, reaching out to someone, doing whatever it takes. So this is long enough. I just wanted to close this out. If you like what you're hearing, I encourage you to share this. Tag someone who might get something from this. Check out www.swiminginthegoodness.com. I got a 3-book bundle on there right now and a 10% off. Definitely looking for some love there, and so I could share this wisdom and allow people to step into their goodness. So what else could I say here? Yeah, definitely go to Swim in the Goodness on Facebook and like it, share it, encourage other people to do it. And then if you're looking for any coaching, once again, listen to this. The phone number's there. You could email me, and we could talk about next time, and we could schedule a time up where you could be on this talk. That's right. Say it, James. Good stuff. I definitely love hearing your feedback. So even if you're listening to this like several hours later, it's about 8:30 right now in San Diego, but leave a comment, because I appreciate that. I get a lot of feedback from people that I talk to on the phone. They say, yeah, keep this going. And so I'm going to keep it going. Why? It's my passion, and I'm swimming in the goodness, and you are too. And I'm here to remind as many people. I'm going to start this wave of goodness, and it's going to be some, the world needs it, but we have to bring it. So that's what we're doing. So as I end this beautiful session and go about my day, I'm going to be speaking at a fire station today. So I'll try to post that live. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to go give thanks to the paramedics and firemen that, for doing what they do. So back to the goodness, that's right. Have an amazing day, everybody. Go swim in that goodness. See it, say it, be it.